What's up now? What's up with y'all, man? This is to my following the money go. You know about who's really funding what type of politician. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna start with the first one. This the from the San Francisco Cape Bay Area state, the HAAS legacy. How one family's generosity and commitment to civil life are transforming the Bay Area. This is by Julian Guthrie on July 1st, 07. So this has been a while. It's a pretty old article. We're gonna skim through it and stuff like that. While their name is nearly ubiquitous with USC Berkeley, with the Haas School of Business and the Haas Pavilion, much of their giving has been anonymous. Over the course of 6 generations, the Haas has distinguished itself as one of the nation's most charitable families, along with the Rockefeller, Mellons, and Hintons. The descendants of Levi Strauss, all right? So the Haas family, HAASES, are the descendants of Levi Strauss, who inherited a multi-billion clothing empire and turned it into blue jean American icon, has set the standard for giving. They do it smartly and progressively, and most notably, regionally. Their legacy began in 1897 when the Bavarian, keyword Bavarian, listen to the phrase, Bavarian immigrant Levi Strauss endowed 28 scholarships at USC Berkeley and will be well felt into the 21st century. When children run and play on the beach of Sissy Field, they have the Haas to thank for that. The multimedia educational series of the San Francisco Symphony, they have the house for that. Haas is to thank for that, which is some good stuff. I've been aware of the Haases for 20 years, says Virginia Esposito, president of the National Center of Family Philanthropy, a nonprofit in Washington, D.C. that helps families structure and manage their giving. So there's a nonprofit in Washington, D.C. named the National Center for Family Philanthropy. You know what I'm saying? That manage the structure and manage the giving of these families. That's crazy. I did not know that. You know what I'm saying? The branches of the family have created 5 foundations, each with a distinct mission, statement, and agenda. At times, their funds collaborate, but for the most part, they operate independently. The largest family fund is the Evelyn and Walter Haas Jr. Fund, established in 1953, with the assets of $6 million. The Haas Jr. Fund, as is known, has given away $268 million since its inception and $118 million in the past 5 years. The grants has transformed the Bay Area. As he talked about Christie Field, a 100-acre gym in the San Francisco waterfront used by millions of people a year. And what else? It was a military base, as it stated up in here. Head across the city to the Visitation Valley, a poor working class neighborhood with shutter shops and escalating violence. A ribbon of small stunning parks with lavender poppies and decorative iron gate is a thread between old row houses starting at Leland Avenue and ending a half dozen blocks up. Okay. Go to Oakland, where disadvantaged kids from the city poorest performing schools are given access for college campuses, attendance, and tutoring. Behind the scenes, the Haas Fund is even tackling tough social issues. 7 organizations have been brought together to advance the rights of gays, lesbians, and champion civil unions. A variety of groups are pushing for immigrant rights, coming from Latino women who become mentors and community leaders, and supporting the legalization of undocumented workers. Legalization of undocumented workers. Over the past 15 years, Haas Jr. Fund has given more than $17 million to USC Berkeley, including $1.5 million to the Haas School of Business. In addition, recently, a $15 million challenge grant to build a new student athletic center. So they're building up Cal, the University of California, basically at Berkeley. The fund's recent gift of $15 million to a 1,500-acre presidio will create 24 miles of new trails, 12 scenic outlooks, and dramatic improvement to San Francisco's only campground. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, who stood with the House family members in April to herald a $15 million gift, told the Chronicle their party was supporting a largest monetary gift to our national parks, coupled with the guidance of the Presidio Trust. Right? Gotta look for that. Presidio Trust. Gotta know what that is. It's a shining example of what sustaining a public-private commitment can create the benefits of an entire community. that public-private benefit. I remember Martin Luther King talk about that in his 5th book with how Philip A. Randolph had a Marshall Plan for the whole United States, basically. Using public-private commitment. They shut it down, but this is kind of a thing of it. 3 of the Walter and Evelyn Haas serve as trustees for the Haas State Juniors Farm. Now, the first one is the daughter named Betsy Haas Einhardt. She's 62. She got a degree from Stanford and a law degree from UC Berkeley, excuse me. Her brother Walter, who was vice president of the Oakland Athletics when the family owned the team. Their mother is still alive, who was 90, and Bob Haas, the fundraiser treasurer and head of the audit committee. He was the CEO for Levi Strauss from 1984 to 1999, and now serves as the company chairman. They all dress wearing Dockers and sweaters or Dockers and button-up shirts, and were gathered at the library of the Chrissy Education Center. The center has been nearly served 400,000 people since it opened. On this afternoon, children filled the nearby spacious room, learned about floras and fauna with groups of moms and strollers in the camp's den. While a $20 million project was an obvious success, one heeled to the news of the family goals of giving away for all walks of life the best of the Bay Area. Let's see. So let's keep on going. Certainly the focus of philanthropy came from their grandfather, Bob Haas. It goes back 5 generations. Levi Strauss gave a local Protestant orphanage. He endowed scholarships at USC Berkeley, many of them held by women. Rosie Meyer Stern, our great-grandmother, it was Rosie Stern who in 1931 donated Stern Grove to the city as a public park. It's now a popular site for free concert. I think the greatest philanthropy came from our parents, who saw them live to this very day. We go out with them and we work at being done. Our dad was the founder of the Guardsmen, a Bay Area organization of professional men that work with disadvantaged youth. I heard of the Guardsmen before? Look up Steve Coakley. He talks about the Guardsmen. We go to Fort Mason and help sell Christmas trees. Wally Haas can recall how his father, the CEO and president of Levi Strauss from 1958 to 1971, seldom talked over dinner. Instead, he discussed his civil endeavors at UC Berkeley, the Hunters Points Boys Club, and the San Francisco Chronicle Season of Sharing Fund. Our mother was dedicated to the museum. She focused on expanding membership, and she was like a little kid when she got donated. In the 1980s, the fathers brought the Oakland A's primarily to keep the team in the Bay Area. It too was their father who came with the idea of the Season for Sharing Fund, aiming at helping people who were not eligible for other charities. Now in its 20 years, the Season of Sharing is still supported by the Haas Junior Fund, giving $51 million to needy cross individuals and families across the Bay Area. We live for sustainability, says the Ira Litchfield, the president of the Haas Junior Fund. If you fund something, you just don't do it for 2-3 years. We know it needs to have a chance to continue. Fairness and equality and opportunity is everything. Even in Waterbath's values. Now it's the values of Bob, Betsy, and Wally. Let's see. We look at institutions like San Francisco Symphony and Chrissy Field and think how to create access and how we engage people. We take our most challenging issue of our time, whether it's immigrant reform or gay and lesbian rights. With more than $600 million in assets, the Haas Fund is required by the IRS to disburse 5% of its endowment annually in exchange for tax benefits. The fund currently exceeds the 5% allocation by excluding administrative expenses. Over the years, the family has given to Jewish causes. But remember, they're from Bavaria, but they're, how they just slid the Bavarian in. Now they talking about how they do their thing for Jewish people. Over the years, the family has given for Jewish causes. But the commitment goes beyond religious tradition, Einhard said. It is clear that Jewish tradition has a strong element of giving back, she said. I think that it may have been a driving force of our earlier generation, but it's more on how we were raised. It's not a Jewish idea, it's a civic responsibility. Walter had as the value of family, of fairness and equality and opportunity. We think we hear our voices of our parents in our giving. They told us, whatever you do, look to make a difference in people's lives. We were compelled to front the social society's more vexing ills. The values that direct the family charity also have shaped its corporate policy. Levi Strauss integrated factories in the South 2 decades before the segregation and was federally mandated. In 1982, before AIDS became well understood, Levi Strauss became a model for promoting AIDS awareness and AIDS education. In 1992, the company became the first Fortune 500 company to spend medical business to all domestic partners and employees. We're talking about values. What we're talking about is values. It's something that can be transmitted by example, by anecdote, not by fiat. So they want to do a thing coming out called Presidio Trails. There will be 24 miles of connecting trails, a system of 17 miles of bike on and off road, and scenic looks with beaches and interpretive reading material. Campground situated above the bluff on the western side of the Presidio is expected to be completed in a year. The trail will take up to 3 years, so the trail should be done by now. Rob Hill Campground, which drew about 1,500 campers last year, will be ringed with tall protected cypress trees and a new species of eucalyptus. The idea behind the expansion is to upgrade to welcome families across the Bay Area and across income levels. Across the city, in different groups, another HAAS project. At Station Valley Middle School, students gathered and played after school to study and play. There was a hip-hop class in preparation for a talent show, football practice, and science class of live snakes and iguana. The Beacon considers 30 such centers at Howes Public Schools in a San Francisco neighborhood. The Haas Fund has developed an initiative that contributes $2 million to the citywide effort. The Vashon Valley Beacon draws 100 kids a day, according to the director Eli Horn. We got a lot of issues in our neighborhood, Horn, and there's a lot of kids who never been out of Vista Valley. They have never been to the beach, and they're exposed to a lot of violence. We are doing something we can keep them safe. I really like animals, said AJ Senadad, who lives in the center every day. I think if I was in the program, I'd be playing basketball, hanging out, and after school, we'd be getting into trouble. So I'm good here. In Oakland, another disadvantage you take for courtesy of the hazard. Mark Meinstein, who coaches women's tennis at Mill College, runs a program for primary school students who come from the city's worst schools. The program is funded by Team Up Youth, a HAAS Junior initiative brainchild of Wally Haas, who believes the power of sports to improve children's life. Teams for Youth began in 1999 and now works with 60 nonprofits around the Bay Area providing coaching, equipment, and money. And since its inception, it introduced more than 10,000 kids to sports. The tennis program draws ages from 8 to 16. We use our tennis to hook them to think about college, Weinstein added. Team Up for Youth have been a wonderful partner for us. The sentiment is repeated to other grant recipients. Kay Kendall, the executive director of the National Center for Lesbian Rights in San Francisco, sees the HAAS Junior Foundation as a valuable partner. The NCLR represents the leading plaintiff in this California marriage case. The NCLR represents the lead plaintiff in the California marriage case, now before the state Supreme Court, which we know got changed, over. We announced so he was the main force behind it, of legalizing gay marriage. We are a non-profit legal organization. We started getting support from the Haas Foundation about 5 years ago. The support from Haas has been incalculable. It hasn't been about the money. It's been about the advice, about the leadership support. They're patient. They don't expect to see immediate results. The NCLR is one of the organizations brought together by Haas on an initiative called Freedom to Marry. As a private foundation, Haas Junior Fund is prohibited from supporting lobbying efforts, but it can affect changes through its grants. The 7 grantees are working a shift of public opinion at local, state, and national level, and to gain momentum to marry and the rights of gays to marry. As a group, we have come together with an understanding of our objectives, said Kendall, referring to a coalition that wouldn't have happened without the Haases. They're in the work for the long run. While Levi Strauss himself had no acts of charity, the progenitor family of philanthropy is said to be Walter Haas Sr., who married one of Mr. Strauss's nephews. Levi Strauss never married and had no children. So let's look into the funds they have, right? As it states right here, while there are other family funds, these are the largest endowments. So these are the largest endowments that get paid the most. So they get the most money from the Haas family, which is basically Levi Strauss. Levi's, yes, that company, Eugene Company. Evelyn and Walter Haas Fund has access to $6 million and focus on advancing civil rights, what they may be, helping low-income children and families, and improving neighborhoods. So civil rights, is broad, what they may be, helping low-income children, the class warfare and families, and improving neighborhoods, gentrification. You got to read between the lines. The Richard and Rhonda Goldman Fund, with $370 million in assets, is known as the Goldman Environmental Prizes. 6 annual awards of $25,000 to each grassroots activist. So they're on the grassroots level too. The Walter and Atlantic House Fund is worth about $230 million. With the emphasis on arts, the fund gave $10 million to the building in San Francisco Art Museum, the museum around art. The Miriam and Peter Haas Fund, with about $200 million in assets, is focused on grant making, improving the quality of education, quality care, and education for low-income families. The Columbia Foundation, with about $73 million in assets, it was established in 1940 by Madeline Haas Russell and her brother William Haas for the futures of public welfare and the long-standing interests of world peace, human rights, and the environment. So those are about 5 of them that you know that do pretty big. So you gotta keep it moving, keep it going. But once you like yourself like this is where your education come from. You know, people like this, they describe your education, and you know, you're gonna be in a world of pain. Also, too, do you want to accept these values? Some of the stuff is good, some of the stuff is bad. But the question you gotta ask yourself is, do you want to accept these values? Anyway, as you know, as you can see, they're one of the funders of the Democratic Party with Nancy Pelosi. Yeah, that is what it is. You know, trying new formats with the video. But that is what it is, and that's what it's going to. So, hey, subscribe to the video, subscribe to the channel. We're going to be dropping a little bit more stuff like this. You know, who fund these people? It's very, very important because these politicians are nothing but faces. You know what I'm saying? So it's very important to know who fund these people. That's not their agenda. They're still corporate, global corporate. These are global. There's no Levi's touch everywhere. But this is how they getting down. Anyway, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. We're going to be doing some more videos. You know, this is a new format for me. Sometimes some more videos, do different things. You have a good one.